Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back with another video. This time it's going to be basically my thoughts on guides and gaming. Do we need them, or is there, a change in how games are played because of them? Stuff like that. Basically, the way I see it is guides have drastically changed how we play games. Back in the day, we didn't have tons of information all the time about every game, always. So now we have all this information out there. We have everything ready at our disposal. So what's happened is we've gotten to a point where we have to know how to do everything before we do it. And I think that's a major flaw in gaming, because even if we, maybe know the fight because we watched a video, we don't really know the fight because we haven't done it. It's easy to watch someone do something, it's a whole different thing to do it yourself. Now, I personally like the idea to go into a fight blind. I like to just kind of experience it the way it was supposed to be experienced. It's more fun to me. Other people, maybe not. And that's why, I don't join the hardcore raiding guilds, or, I don't join the raids that do, and like mythics and stuff in WoW. I don't join the guilds that do like, I think they're called extremes or something. I don't know what they're called in Final Fantasy. I actually haven't done a raid in Final Fantasy. But I don't join those because I want to experience the fights, not know the fights before I do them. That's a preference thing, though. I'm not saying everyone should feel this way. I'm not saying everyone should do it this way. Like, play how you want to play. You just need to make sure you're playing with the same, people who have the same mindset. Because if you're not, then that's where, toxicity happens. People will get mad at you for not doing it. People will, tell you how trash you are because you don't know how to do the fight, and you need to look up the video. You should have looked up the video. You should have never joined this group, blah, 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 whatever. And I mean, that's fine. They have their opinion, and they said that you need to know the fight before you do this. You shouldn't have joined that group if you didn't know the fight. So that is on you. I'm not saying that, they're right for reaming you out on that. What I'm saying is they're right. I mean, you shouldn't have been in the group in the first place if you weren't willing to do what they asked. But there's a difference between being right and being a dick. And most people are just dicks. So it makes it hard for someone to think logically when they're being screamed at because, they didn't think something through. So these people then mad, you're mad. You're just like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with this anymore. This is just ridiculous. Why am I doing this? Oh, I'm a terrible player." You start thinking bad about yourself. Or you're thinking, they're terrible. Or both. You're probably thinking both. But in reality, they had every reason to expect you to basically go to what they wanted. They wanted you to know the fight. They said that beforehand. It's on you for not doing that. It is not on them. 100%, it is not on them. So, with that being said, you should know the fight if you join a group that says you need to know the fight. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. But you have to remember they don't have to let you stay. They can just kick you, which is what they should do. But it doesn't excuse them being, complete assholes about it, of course. But it is something that to be said that, you need to be doing what they expect you to do, not what you want to do. If you want to, go in blind, you need to make a group for it or find a group that does. That's already doing that. I mean, it's up to you. It's not up to them. So yeah, they have a right to be mad because you just wasted their time. But the question remains, while you have a right to, or while they have a right to be mad, do you have a right to be upset when they yell at you? I I think you do. You can be upset because you got yelled at. But you have to realize that it's not their job to carry you. It's their job to play their class. It's their job to do what they're supposed to do. It's not their job to hold your hand through something. If they did not want to do that, then you can't tell them that they have to. That's not how it works. So I think there's a mix of problems, with guides, with walkthroughs, with all that. Because now you're expected to know how to do everything. Most groups, well, they expect that. But that doesn't mean you can't play the way you want to play, which could be going in blind, or maybe you know most of the fights, but you don't know this last fight, and you really wanted to experience it the way it was supposed to be done. Or experienced, not done. So, the access of information has created a change in gameplay to where you need to know how to do everything before doing it. And that's kind of the issue that we see now in most gaming. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. I get it. A lot of people don't have time. They don't have a single second to waste. They take everything super seriously and they don't have fun. That's fine. And I'm going to get some people saying, well, I don't find going in and not knowing the fight fun. That's fine. You don't have to find that fun. I'm saying I find it fun because I'm experiencing it for the first time the way it was supposed to be experienced. There's a difference between what I find fun and what you find fun. People need to realize that. I'm not saying that your way's wrong. I'm not saying that my way's wrong. I'm saying that we need to play the way we want to play with people that think like we do. And we don't do that anymore because we just think, it's just easier to do the homework beforehand and just get it done, because it's going to be really hard to find people who want to do the same thing as me. But that's not true. There's actually a lot of people that are like this, that want to experience things, the way they were intended. There's a lot of people like that. It's just hard to find them without looking. Whereas, know the fight is everywhere. Know how to do this is everywhere. Because the thought process is you should know how to because it's out there. But that's not always the most fun way to play, and it's just not how everyone wants to do things. But there's a misconception that we have to do it this way because, well, that's just how everyone does it now. But that's not true. Like I said, you could absolutely find people who think like you. They exist. They really do. If you want to go in with an all druid group in WoW, you could. But you have to find people who just want to mess around like that. You have to find people who are just looking to have fun and not looking to take anything seriously. Granted, an all druid group would actually probably be just fine, but my point still stands. It's about how you have fun, not about how others have fun. The information out there has created a a misconception of we have to play this way. This is the only way to play. And that's the problem. That's what we're running into. That's why, guides and stuff are kind of a problem. I mean, even I make guides. Don't get me wrong, they're helpful. They are. But like, I've made resource guides for Warframe. I've made build guides for Warframe. I think I've even done some for WoW. I've done some. I mean, granted, it was in the past, so I don't know how old those ones are, but I make a lot of guides. I'm not saying that people shouldn't use the guides. I'm saying that not everyone's going to want to, and we have to start to realize that. Otherwise, gaming is just gonna fall. It's just gonna die because we're not having fun anymore. Like, I don't find fun in just knowing how to do everything. I find fun in going in blind, probably even dying a few times, but eventually beating that boss, beating the enemy, whatever. That's fun to me because it was an achievement at that point. It was like, oh my god, we finally did it. This is so cool, There's an excitement in doing this. And when we look up guides, when we look up YouTube videos, all that, we now know how to do it without ever doing it. So we didn't get to experience, that crazy mechanic that we wouldn't have known about otherwise. So that being said, that's just my thoughts on how guides have changed gaming. I don't think they're bad, but I think it's created the misconception of you have to do it this way. You don't. Find people like you. And with that being said, guys, that is the video. If you like this content, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.